when the Houston Astros won the World Series, as any champion does, they held a parade.
Champions do.
The like mass testosterone of playing sports gets kind of weighed out by the idea of a massive pageant that you could have rolling around in the street. But in the street, Ted Cruz got hit by a beer can that was thrown.
Yep.
Like amid a chorus of boos, there was one lone wolf out there
who did what had to be done. Honestly.
Exactly.
A far less problematic fave than John Hinckley Jr.
This is something, again, I feel sorry for Dennis to be editing, but my first thought was, if you can get off throwing a beer can at Ted Cruz, you could probably also get off a little something else.
Oh, you absolutely can, yeah.
I mean, you might not get out.
But you'll have got, big air quotes, Ted Cruz.
Wouldn't that be an amazing plotline for a movie? Like, I have to have this team win the Super Bowl, so that way then this senator is in this parade.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if one of those new fucking Hitman games had that exact scenario.
It's Hitman versus Bill Belichick.
Really, I mean, any mission that lets you wear a big foam mascot suit, I'm a fan of. Especially if you can, like, hide a corpse in there once you're done with it.
Oh my god, the dead mascot leaning against the side. People just think he's had too much to drink.
That Dallas Cowboy freak sure has it coming. I don't like his style. He's probably got some cutesy name, which being from Dallas, I should know. But I refuse. I just don't agree with that lifestyle.
Cowboy? In this world? What kind of furry nonsense is this, huh?
I believe in in traditional gender roles, and cows is girls, not boys.
Well, it makes me just feel so bad because it's like the Houston Astros, Ted Cruz is, trying to siphon off a little bit of clout from them.
Fucking psychic clout vampire.
It makes me hate the fact that the Texas team won the championship.
Well, it sucks that they had him in the parade in the first place.
I have a feeling that's more of a Ted Cruz said he was going to be in the parade and no one said no.
But nobody felt like, I don't want to break the news to him because he's probably going to cry.
We can't say no, right? We think he's going to kill himself if we say
We're
no.
We're pretty sure. He said he was going to do it at the Capitol.
For real this time. I said I was going to do it.
Gun to the Capitol. He can't do that, right? Like a bunch of 20, 21-year-old interns just losing their minds.
But the other big franchise that exists right now in Texas, the Dallas Cowboys, their owner, Jerry Jones.
Peace be upon him.
Well, let's forecast potentially some rest in peace upon him.
Claims to be pro-life.
This motherfucker did a ton of last-minute GOP spending in support of Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, who's running for lieutenant governor, and Ken Paxton, who's running for Texas attorney general. But regardless, that trio, he just did a massive cash spend on the last day for you to do it. So I don't know if maybe all the rich guys get bizarre texts like the rest of us do, where it's like, hi, Jerry.
This is Elizabeth Warren.
This is the most important election of our lives. If you can just find it in your heart to donate $340,000 to us, it would mean the world.
We'll change the name of the Guardians back. We promise. Give us the money and we'll make it happen. We'll pull some strings.
We'll change the name back and have it be spelled with a J. Like the good old days.
For every time I'm reelected, I will make a new team that's also super racist.
The Washington Hard R's.
People say gypsy is a slur. I will show them that gypsy's a slur.
It's the most cowardly way for them to do this because I'm not going to say he did something like this last time around, but by doing this massive donation on the last day, when they're pretty much already sure bets, this is essentially like gifting 3 prominent politicians in Texas a whole bunch of money all at once. And I'm sure this isn't going to be treated as, I don't know, like a bribe in some capacity should Jerry need something to lean his way one way or the other. Because it's not like he's under investigation for sexual harassment of several employees or anything.
Exactly. Yeah, no. So everything's kosher. Yeah, we don't live under like a weird sports king gerontocracy fucking patron state.
Mississippi has just been funding Brett Favre's passion projects and grifts.
Again, just a weird patronage system full of fancy sports boys. You might say he's the quarterback of society itself.
Putting on my Joker makeup as I go to a tailgate.
We need ESPN to have like a mid-philosophy podcast.
Oh, yeah? Is
I
that
think
what
that'd
we
be really
need?
good. Like theory stuff, and it's very smug, fart-smelling kind of show.
I would love to see Stephen A. Smith be like, you cannot deny dialectical materialism in today's day and age. There's just no defense against it. You cannot focus on anything other than the material conditions that are presenting themselves right now.
The player to watch this century is China. I think they're making moves. I think they're playing smart. They're outwitting the competition at every stage. The head fakes on Xi are ridiculous.
You think he's going to go right, and bam, he goes left even harder than before.
Jack Ma, never seen again.
Psychic Dolphin Garage.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode from the Psychic Dolphin Garage. I'm Kelton, he, him.
I'm Bo. Him as well. Just two dudes hanging out.
Exactly. It's
Ram
election
Ranch.
day in Texas, and based on the results, of course, our non-binary host has gone into hiding. Is AWOL. The bunker is fully stocked, so we are expecting, a return in probably 6 to 10 years or so?
Well, depends, if Zach sees his shadow coming out, that's when you know where the Hitler particles have concentrated to the point where non-binary people cannot go outside. So like just Texas generally.
I was going to say, there are other factors in Texas.
Yeah.
That prevent that. But yes, we're going to be talking about the Texas election, which is a little weird because wouldn't you know it, we're in the midst of getting all of the election results right now. And let me tell you, it's not looking great out there, Cotton. Did you vote by any chance?
I early voted, matter of fact.
Wow. Okay. So you weren't harassed by any of the off-duty cops pretending to be poll watchers?
Amazingly, no. I think that's a very Austin thing, though, unfortunately. It's kind of the exception.
This election was really pinned, at least for Texans, as this is going to be the year. Like, we will finally dominate and we will destroy Greg Abbott. And the more I thought about it, the more I then reviewed the platform choices. I've already got on record as saying when I voted for the 3 Green Party people that were available on the ballot. And then I voted straight Democrat for the rest. So Democrats shouldn't view it as they lost 3 votes, but rather that they gained 33 other votes and all the smaller races. So hopefully that will outweigh things. Now, I would say that I would feel guilty about it, and maybe I do to a certain extent about not having voted for Beto, but it looks like it very well might possibly be a greater than 7-point margin of victory for Greg Abbott.
Ooh.
Yeah, which it's not good.
Not great. Yeah.
When you think about how the previous elections have gone, you really kind of were hoping for a demographic shift that it would be something different, because 4 years ago, Abbott won at basically 56% to 42.5%. And so the idea was, hey, if we can just close the gap by have him only win by 4 points even, that could be considered a victory. And that's really bad.
It's hideous what passes for a dub among Texas Democrats, yeah.
As Zach put it, it's like in sports betting when you're given +4 by the bookie. Democrats are +5 in this election.
My kid doesn't need that college fund. I'll win it back. No problem. No problem.
Exactly. And it's not looking super great. I mean, again, we're in the thick of it right now. Polls have closed. People are still reporting in. It is, though, at about 42% reporting, so it's not nothing right now. If Beto somehow wins and we have to record an episode tomorrow where I go, I'm so sorry, I was completely wrong.
Well, cramp my calves. The boy did it.
He got up on those tables. He said, fuck.
And then he sat his white ass down and listened. What the fuck
It's the way of the world, unfortunately. I do think, though, that there are a lot of factors that probably went into things. And I know on previous episodes, we've kind of talked a little bit about what all has gone on with Ken Paxton and his, just general corruption, but also the fact that he was setting up a task force to election watch. Well, I mean, our attorney general is now sending various task forces across the state into areas that are more urban than rural to make sure that election integrity is upheld. So I just think that if we're allowed to be conspiracy theorists and think maybe an election is being stolen, then maybe it can work the other way too. Huh? Do you, I mean, like, I'm not, again, I think there are enough Republican shitheads in Texas that an election won't be considered stolen. I just to have that little faith in my fellow
rightly
Texans.
so too. We are a degenerate species who should not.
I mean, go into the middle of central rural Texas and then just like feel the 1950s regression washing over you a little bit. And that also kind of goes without saying that earlier, I believe it was on Monday, a federal judge said to election officials in Beaumont that they needed to stop harassing and discriminating against black voters. So obviously, you know, stuff is still happening of voter suppression and just various other garden variety illegal activities. But again, I think that it's not enough that it would have tipped in Beto's favor necessarily. Like there are more racist wine moms out there
than horny wine moms.
I was gonna say than like, you know, Denton college kids, but I think that also that your analogy might work better. I think. Listen,
dude, the sock can be a wine mom if they want to be. All right, like. Why mom is just a subgender of femme. Like if you take the right upgrade tree. Here, let me tell you about gender.
This is good. No better time than as we're looking at election results.
Right now, here's a man explaining gender to everybody. First, what you gotta know. Do you like jazz?
The thing you people need to understand. Oh God. Let's see some other notable races that are happening right now that are going to be yesterday's news, according to everyone. It looks like Raphael Warnock is going to lose to Herschel Walker. So we're going to have a new recurring character on the show, and that is CTE Senator. CTE-nator.
I can't stress enough how much all this is just Renaissance sports nonsense.
He won the Heisman Trophy. He's clearly the right person for the job right now. So, I mean, it's not much better in Ohio, where J.D. Vance is looking like he's going to be winning. So, what did he try and what was that movie that was based on his life that he was trying to push on people? Do you remember?
But that's a hideous proposition.
Hillbilly Elegy. That was the name.
Yeah.
Or he's like, I grew up in like they all had Southern accents, but they were raised like in Cincinnati.
It's just a kind of guy. Speaking of incredibly insincere kinds of guys, Dr. Oz versus John, the China Destroyer Fetterman. How are they doing?
The do not trust Muslims, do not trust the Chinese Fetterman. Nothing. Again, perfect policies, right? Not
the
at all.
The centrist reasoned position is you don't trust the Chinese and you don't trust the Uyghur Muslims that they're putting in camps allegedly. You know.
I used to dress like one back in the early 2000s. John, stop.
He's either
stop
that
talking.
or a Kangol hat guy. He was absolutely a Kangol hat guy up until like 2009.
Tell me that John Fetterman wasn't at the gathering like in 1996 or something. Just Jenko jeans that are somehow like 53 and a half inches long. Just
I want a senator who will ask me if I've heard of Incubus. That's all I want.
Oh God. Look, he's actually ahead right now. He was at 57%. It's now at 56%, but also only 22% reporting in. So I'm going to say that that's probably a toss up, mostly because it seems like there's a lot of like Democratic early leads that they
Yeah.
get chipped away at. For example, Warnock at the beginning of us recording was up like 54% to 46, and it's now at an even 50%. So it's going to be very interesting, I think, to kind of see what all
Interesting.
ends up
Interesting
happening
is absolutely the
as we continue
word.
here.
Like, not to get too fucking meta zeitgeist, whatever about it, but like, I haven't been, I guess, refreshed on just the profound stupidity of the American people, like in a while, I guess, until
Mhm.
like the Kanye thing, and I was like, wow, like we just flipped a real anti-Semitism switch in just everybody, huh?
Yeah, it opened everything.
Yeah,
You
like
know?
between like his shit, which is kind of like fallen off, sort of, but like the damage is done, right? And then like the whole Musk Twitter thing, just causing massive elation in the dumbest people on the internet. Like the crying, laughing emoji SS is on the fucking way, man. It's all these
Absolutely.
motherfuckers who like share watermark memes and
No, it's cropped
yeah, yeah.
watermark memes too. So the meme has only been around for like 5 days, but it still somehow looks like it came out in
Uh-huh. Yeah.
2004 and got scanned in.
It's all the fucking
Just
people that like why those tweets that show up every couple months that are like, oh wow, McDonald's Sprite goes different, huh? Like that just gets like fucking 600,000 likes for some reason. Like, yeah, we know about McDonald's Sprite.
are you
People.
telling me a shrimp? What? Yeah.
I
It's
just
format.
reinvented NPCs. I'm very mad about it.
Yeah, all these people, they just kind of act the same, and then they probably dress the same. They
I'm
have
normal,
the same
though. I'm a free
interests and
thinker.
hobbies.
I'm a real boy.
The Pinocchio clan goes hard
Yeah.
like no one else. I think though that as we're kind of reviewing and thinking about what all needs to be not needs to be discussed, but as we're thinking about like what all is bad with Texas, I think it was very fun that the website Progress Texas ended up giving us something that was called Top 10 Things We Hate About Greg Abbott. And it's a list of 10 things. And so I just kind of wanted to run through that with you, Bo, with the idea of course, all of these are bad, but do we think that Beto would have fixed this somehow?
Well, I guess we'll see. Yeah. Now, being a product of the Texas public school system, I might take a while sounding out some of these words. Can I get back to you like half an hour or so once I've had a chance to really,
Yes,
really like put a lot of this. I'm just going to copy and paste most of it through Google Speech. I don't know how to read. I've been faking it this whole time. I'm sorry, man.
You're actually a 9-year-old Indonesian child who has been subcontracted out to do all these riffs.
Well, and the real fucked up thing is too, I've got the whole like trench coat and like big hat and like broomstick handle hand thing going on. Like I'm sitting on top of my buddy's shoulders right now. We don't have a video chat or anything going. We're just doing this. Like it's
this
bullshit.
is who we are. We woke up one day and we thought actually we prefer it like this.
This is a solid grift. We got a good thing going.
And that's how John Fetterman ran for Congress. It was two people
It's just
older.
a bunch of kids in a trench coat.
Oh, I was thinking it's two kids that then became adults, but they kept the ruse up.
They just merged. Yeah, I've seen Barbarian.
Oh God.
That's a weird half pull. Anyway, yeah, let's take a look at what we hate about Greg Abbott, and I'm sure it will be just minor gripes.
Yeah, absolutely. From people not at all affected by this. No way.
Yes. Number 1, abortion bans. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's indeed
Not
bad.
a fan.
But it was Greg Abbott that's responsible for it, right? Not our Texas House or anything else.
Right. Supreme Court.
Our Texas Supreme Court, even none of that. That's Greg Abbott, and Beto could fix
Our
that.
fellow Texans
right?
who should be put into hard labor for believing that this shit is just fine and good.
I mean, sometimes we have to look at what the opposition is doing and adopt their tactics. So maybe we need to find our own democratic version of a Karl Rove. Maybe we need to find our own democratic version of a cool guy with a hammer. See what's happening, huh? I think
Greg Abbott's gay lover strikes today as tragedy at the governor's mansion.
He died from being hammered in the ass so hard. He finally gave up.
There's something about getting wood and a tree branch in there, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Greg Abbott's had enough tree branches in his life, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that the idea of an abortion ban being the first reason to not like Greg Abbott is very viable, but I don't think that Beto would have fixed that in his. I'm going to be optimistic and say single term as governor, because I'm hoping he.
Oh yeah,
would
no, I mean
finish it.
he'd be shut down on every front. Unfortunately, I mean, like, how much could a governor do?
Well, because
right?
imagine if you are in a Republican that is in the Texas House or that's in the Texas Senate, if you agree with Beto on anything, then you will get primaried and your opponent will say, this guy agreed with Beto. Like that's all that it would take for them to lose their spot. So it doesn't matter. Beto could say, like, I'm in favor of giving every elementary school child an AR-15, and they would still vote against it because they don't
like his vibe.
Yeah, they don't want to go down as saying like, oh, we actually agree with him on something. So we'll see. So the next thing that actually kind of dovetails nicely, there's no gun reform. Abbott famously said things could have been worse in the wake of the Uvalde mass shooting. And so I do think that if Beto did come in, he would probably try an executive order of some kind that would do gun reform. Now, how much that would actually be effective, who's to say? What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the thing of, you expect nothing and you're still let down, right? Because, like, goddamn, just the precedent has been set, and it has been set since fucking Sandy Hook that, like, we can just have a bunch of children die in mass, and it's like not a big deal.
As long as they don't die in mass, because then you're incorporating the church in it. But actually, they would be Catholic.
I mean, one of the examples here actually is the Sutherland Springs church shooting.
Oh, okay. Well,
And this was not quite on the scale of these other guys, but I think because some of these things that show up as just like prominent in the news shootings don't technically constitute mass shootings.
Yeah, the Dallas police shooting, for example, was it all bad?
Yeah,
know.
But specifically, I have a very stark memory of. Do you remember the shooting that happened in that church in that town called White Settlement?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The town that's now 30 minutes from me.
Yeah, exactly. Having to explain to, I happen to be out because this was just pre-pandemic, right? December 2019. Happened to be out at a bar with some Australians and had to explain to them, as this was on the news at the on the fucking TV at the bar for some reason, I guess because fucking it's that or sports, whatever, fine.
And by God, we weren't going to put on sports. Not at a time like this.
And yeah, I just had to explain to them, yes, we have a town called White Settlement, and yes, a mass shooting happened there.
You're saying it wasn't founded by Ron White? Oh, I wish.
It's the etymology of the name is, we looked it up on the spot, and it's just about what you'd expect.
Originally called White's Only Settlement.
Honestly, as far as just a declarative, it's not named after a slur or a derogatory term for someone. For the 1840s, forward thinking.
Yeah, when it was that or the name of Rick Perry's ranch, I think that was how you gave directions back in the day. Just saying four slurs because that's also what the local towns were called at the time. So,
I mean, towns, geographical features, just individuals.
God. I don't even want to think about what the mascots were like 40 years ago. That's probably not that great.
Yeah. Oh no.
The next issue that they say that they want to say no to Greg Abbott for is Texas school turmoil, because again, the children are learning criminal race theory. That's what I'm going to call it.
Well,
you see, ha-ha.
and you know, there's those litter boxes in the schools.
Yes,
you know?
right next to all of those books that need to be banned. Because we are banning books. Historically, what the good guys in history do.
The very good and real litter box thing still blows my mind. That like, just it's
everyone's aunt shared it. Like that.
Yeah. Everyone's dumb aunt, and because every member of government at this point is just somebody's dumb aunt. Like, like they all believe that the secret gay agenda to convert kids into furries is in full swing at every school, and you have to be afraid for your child's life because they're shitting in a box. Ugh, God forbid.
The thing I want the most is all of these absolutely insane Republican candidates that win these school board elections, for them to then also realize just how monotonous and dumb the position ultimately is. They're like, we have absolutely. To do what? Yeah. What do you mean we're allocating funding for something right now? Like, aren't we going to focus on the litter boxes? What do you mean there's no litter box budget? That was my first thing I wanted to slash.
Just spends the whole first week running around the school checking every room to see there's got to be a fucking kitty sandbox full of just fucking turds.
Let
me
see the children shit. I'm a normal person.
Do you see the children shit? Much freedom, liberty. It really is the perfect little itty bitty cute little metaphor for, I guess, the general Republican approach to killing public education via austerity. What you do is you get some dumbasses really mad at it, and then you put them in charge of it, and it's a boring, difficult, underthanked job, and they run it into the ground.
And then you take it over or you sell it off. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, carve it up for the fucking Wendy Davises of the world.
God, cool. I don't think Beto would have fixed this because, again...
No, that's somebody else entirely. Never mind. Wendy Davis is not who I was thinking of.
Listen, I wasn't going to say that maybe Wendy Davis wasn't who you were thinking of. I just thought that maybe Wendy Davis turned into a monster or something after.
No. As far as I know, she's nice. She ran for governor, actually.
I know. She famous for doing the whole... what? God, my words are losing me right now. She was standing... She got famous with the tennis shoes for doing a filibuster, all that sort of stuff, before she ran for governor. And so, I think that, again, I just thought maybe she was a secret monster that we didn't know about. So,
no, she seems like a King of the Hill character in a kind and sad way.
Doesn't it suck, by the way, that Texas politicians, on the left side, even remotely on the left side, the second they win one very small minor race, they get immediately thrust into a statewide extravaganza. They're like,
oh yeah, just thrown to the fucking sharks.
Oh, yeah. Cool. You made some waves for a week trying to do a filibuster in the Texas Congress. How would you like to run for governor?
Yeah. Please, we're begging you. Anything. Anyone.
And put on tennis shoes, talk about how you're running for everything, and then, blah, blah, blah.
Jump on some tables. Jump on some fucking tables.
Beto, Wendy, huh? Maybe a little photo op together? Huh?
Will enthusiasm kill you?
Take off the shirt now. Take it off, Robert. Do it.
Make his fucking calves cramp, for Christ's sake.
Reason number 4 is that Abbott still hasn't fixed the damn grid. Wow.
Yeah, see this another nail in the coffin for just we are too stupid as a species, Texans specifically. We are, I think, speciated at this point. The shit they're putting in the drinks of Buc-ee's. That's what
I'm a red-blooded American who hates the blue bloods and I'm white, so red, white, and blue. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
Texas.
But it's cool because if you go to other states, you can just raw dog like it's nothing. So
Hold on, you didn't tell me that you were born in Fort Worth. That changes everything. Oh my god, I'm gonna be a father. I have to be.
No, yeah, we should children of men this state just depopulate the whole fucking thing.
Imagine how that would go. Just
yeah,
honestly, I would welcome it with open arms.
same. No, but yeah, it's just mystifying how dumb we are. As I was saying, that this is like one of the most direct, materially like evident. Hey, the government fucking is doing a bad job. We should maybe change up the government, do something. I don't know.
And
like at the very minimum,
and that isn't treated like a giant wedge issue somehow, some way.
Yeah, well, it's just kind of the fucking thing we're at now, where some people live in reality and some people live in a world of litter boxes and secret. I don't know. Like I'm guessing, like a migrant caravan came and sucked up all our energy, charging their Obama phones. Who knows? Who knows what they're believing?
I mean, it is crazy to think that hundreds of Texans froze to death in 2021, and then people are still like,
Fine.
I think we'll be okay with it. Like we'll take our chances next year. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm making sure to get plenty of blankets and probably a fucking heater. I'm not falling for this a third fucking time.
I don't know how many times I need to say this, but please don't call your girlfriend a heater. That's not the right way. I'm sure she's a lovely woman, but
I said beater.
Oh, okay. I mean, same logic applies.
For a while. Give the girl a break. She's got that Herschel Walker disease.
She's how do you say fucking stupid. Yeah, that.
Jesus.
But something like this you would imagine to be a wedge issue among Texans, and it is a footnote at best. And it's almost like maybe there's a reason that people are pushing the border and all of those woke agenda types trying to set the criminals free and teach CRT in schools instead of like an actually pragmatic thing that could affect people materially.
Again, yeah, any sort of like, hey, this is something about your life that's important, and you should, maybe like worry that the power can't stay on in the winter. No, it's those damn Mexicans coming over again.
It'll be fine. It's all
fine.
Same,
the very same that have been doing so since the Bush administration. y'all been mad about. And it's probably before then, but I didn't notice till I was a little kid. And just, it's always,
I have only been alive so long. If you really want to like feel bad, Bo, do you want to feel bad right now? Are you ready?
Yes.
When we were born, Texas was a Democratic state. Had a Democratic House, Democratic Texas State Senate, and had a Democratic governor. And then,
man. That rules.
So it's been cool. Just our lifetime.
The Mike Judge years, really.
Crazy to think that that's now like nostalgia for a Texas that no longer exists, even in its own way.
Yeah, remember when it was like conservative, but not in a way that like was like, killing everybody across the country and stuff?
You mean like not Christo-fascist?
Yeah. When it was like just normal kind of bigoted.
Yeah. Let's revisit. What was the name of that town again? Where we're expressing
white settlement.
Got it. That's what we're waxing poetic for. Is
outside of Fort Worth.
But Dallas, huh? Dallas, huh? Any thought? No,
yeah.
It's whatever.
No, not a single thought at all. Thank God.
Next one here. Greg Abbott has attacked the LGBTQIA plus community, which, the bathroom bill, trying to fight against marriage equality, having CPS investigate families of trans kids, just normal things that exist in a complete dystopia.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
the list is not fun. I don't.
It's not a great list. You see a list online, you're thinking like, oh, it's BuzzFeed. This is gonna be great. I love BuzzFeed. I'm such a fan of BuzzFeed.
Listicle of 10 cool things.
I just got out of a coma that I went into in 2012. What's up?
Oh wow, BuzzFeed is thriving. I can't wait to figure out what those cracked people are up to now. Oh boy, my favorite websites.
Oh, did Iron Man finally get a sequel? That's cool. I'm not sure when the first Iron Man sequel was, and I don't care to check.
I really want for someone who comes out of a coma to just spoil the entire Avengers thing for them.
Oh yeah, just fucking
rip the Band-Aid off.
Brain.
Be like,
just fucking beat them with a baby Yoda doll until they associate it with pain, and save them the potential,
I need you to know this. You have been gone too long to ever catch up.
Give them a little memento photograph. Do not trust this man. And it's
Kevin Feige.
One of the Chris's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, that's better. That's better.
This list within a list is really heinous because it kind of goes without saying, but should be repeated, that these fucking people have nothing that they're basing their hatred on anymore. Even they've dropped the religious pretense. They just have come up with a million little shitty excuses.
Yes, because they're grooming them now. Actually,
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
everyone knows that no adults should be allowing 16-year-olds to get hormone therapy. They should be making them their child brides, like God intended.
Thank you, Matt Walsh, for coming onto the podcast partway through. Yeah, but yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing is they don't need to provide a reason or evidence of said grooming or anything. It's just fuck you, So yeah, this list is incredibly heinous. But at the bottom, the example given is in 2019, Abbott openly objected to Chick-fil-A's decision to stop funding anti-LGBTQ organizations, which is the most baby back shit.
It is
in terms of just come on, y'all. You just let the company stop doing the thing.
Yeah.
Don't get mad that they're
the people who run the company are sure as hell going to keep donating. So don't.
Yeah, exactly. They're what do you think their paychecks go to?
What are you hoping for? Again, it sounds like he wants a whites only restaurant.
Yeah.
Imagine a restaurant where it was only white people and only guys. And then maybe, you could have hot waitresses come and deliver food to you.
Wow.
Huh? Wouldn't that be something? Someone should invest in that kind of a concept.
Truly revolutionary.
Thanks, Greg. Good point.
Thanks, buddy.
Next thing that they mention is that his COVID-19 response was and still is abysmal. COVID. Yeah, that's, I mean, the fact that people in Texas of all places, will talk about how when everything locked down and we were all stuck inside in the police state. What world are you living in? We in Texas, that never happened.
There was a weekend where people were a little iffy about going out, and then, I mean, come on.
They hadn't been out for 2 weeks, so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's again this example of you get this, you get the dumbest guy you went to high school with just coming up with an idea for why something has inconvenienced him and making it fucking conspiracy theory. Well, no,
it gets worse because it's then the spineless response nationally that it makes the dumb guy feel validated. Because remember, it was you need to isolate for 3 weeks. Then, okay, well, 2 weeks and you should be fine. Now it's down
5 days.
To 5 days, 3 days if you're not feeling any symptoms. What does that mean for asymptomatic carriers? Just
don't feel symptoms, bro. It's easy.
Just get a shot and then you'll not have to wear a mask. But you're not wearing a mask anyway. So I guess don't take the shot? Fucking sure.
Who knows?
I mean, it was completely ball dropped, but he gladly took all that sweet federal funding that was offered
of
to him.
course.
So that's something to just remember, I think. With all of these, I'm not sure Beta would have fixed anything because all of this happens like on the local level. Like it's in the roots of the state, I genuinely believe. But
Yeah,
I think on things like this about where the governor is kind of allowed to point guard his way through figuring out how federal funds are allocated in emergency situations like this, there could have been a better response. I still don't think it would have been good because people would have immediately rioted, and then Beto would probably have been saying something like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take away from your freedom. It's you.
and before you know it, we've got Juan Guaido as governor of Texas. It's fucked.
He absolutely would. Yeah.
Oh, he absolutely would. Yeah.
This is another wedge issue that we got up next, by the way. Abbott has refused to legalize marijuana and pardon possession offenses. So,
Yep.
Again, weed, I think, could have been a fun wedge issue to use, but wouldn't you know it? No one seems to care about that anymore. What happened, again, to the good old wedge issues of the past? Infrastructure and drugs.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's such an easy dub, to push for, and just nobody does it. Like, obviously the Republicans don't want to because it's it is the devil's lettuce, and it will drive young white women to listen to jazz. So can't do that.
Not in white settlement. No, please.
Not in white settlement. Not in my white settlement. Not in my footloose town. All right. Footloose Town and White Settlement are sister cities for sure. But yeah, and then I guess the Democrats just don't. Yeah, it's the fucking Simpsons thing. They hate winning and they hate themselves.
Yeah, they really do just want to lose because I think.
And in the words of our digital manager Sam Gonzalez, when it comes to weed, Abbott is a lame ass dork. That's one of the bullet points from the list.
You know what sounds even worse than being a lame ass dork? Being the type of person to describe another individual as a lame ass dork
or being someone to quote someone describing someone as a lame ass. It's just God bless these people. They do good work. They put together this list. I can't be mean to them.
They compiled so many news stories for us, and I feel so thankful.
There's a lot here. Like it's a list of 10, but there's like 5 examples, like links and shit in each of these.
Abbott,
it's
not great.
We're not a well-run operation here. And I don't just mean the podcast. I mean Texas.
I was gonna say, hey, Zach isn't on this episode, so that's why we're a little short-staffed.
The weed thing hits close to home, so I'm a little fraught right now.
We are in a hiring crisis right now. No one wants to work anymore, Bo.
God, how did I not consider that that's the real? That's the issue facing real America, right? Come on, fellow jet ski dealership owners. Let's get out there and vote.
Tether ourselves to the nearest Whataburger and declare that it needs to stay open.
And God willing, have your fucking livers pecked out by eagles. Next up on the list.
I'm just imagining like the Whataburger. What was his name? It's not Sisyphus, right?
No, fucking the Eagles guy.
Eagles guy, Jalen Hurts, the Eagles guy.
No, Don Hertzfeld. No, wait, that might be that animator. What's the guy from the Eagles?
Vulture, Myth, Liver, Search. That's what we're gonna do. Prometheus and the Vulture.
Prometheus for the fucking flame.
Yeah,
Don Henley is who I was thinking of.
And every day Zeus would say to Don Henley, write another riff. And Don Henley would, and Zeus would rip it up in front of him.
Kick them while they're up, kick them while they're down. See, I can't remember the guy's fucking name, but I got polls. So Border Stunts.
Border.
Greg Abbott Border Stunts is the raddest PlayStation 2 game of 2008. you've ever seen. It's just the dude doing straight vert, McTwist, grab, nose 980s on a border
Single
wall.
question: how much new metal is on the soundtrack to
Oh, it's all new metal. It's like, oh god, it's
John Fetterman listening to Greg Abbott Border Stunt soundtrack?
Oh no, he played the shit out of that game. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hear that the water from that bong has not been changed to this day, and if you smoke it, you will inherit just a seething hatred of all things Chinese.
It's aging like a fine
It really
wine.
sucks that he's like an anti-China guy. I wanted
It really sucks that he's also
I'm
like
a fucking chump.
it sucks that he's also like so anti-Muslim, like
Oh yeah,
Muslim, but like as a people group and not a religion, which feels weirder because that's just straight xenophobia. But again, it seems like people are kind of okay with it because he's like the Jolly Green Giant or whatever the fuck.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. You think he's some cool, working class union guy, and you know what? That's probably kind of the opinions a lot of dudes on my job site have. But we should expect better
Yeah.
of our fucking
Or maybe if you
leadership.
have those opinions, you just keep it to yourself, John.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's how you get the job. Is fucking
Saying,
we're gonna get you, China. We're gonna come and get you.
I, John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, will come and get you. I will challenge you to a one-on-one dunk competition. God.
But yeah,
the border stunts that are happening.
the existence of a border implies the violence of its maintenance, and boy, oh boy, is nowhere the violence more dull and uninteresting than Texas. Still violent and fucking horrible. I mean, we still have like. Just an example. I'm sure they haven't stopped doing this. Border guards kicking over water and supplies left for people
well, I
crossing.
mean, like, let's talk about the cost of
desert.
these stunts, though, because like
Yes,
it's
please. Let's
publicity
talk about these
stunts,
stunts.
but like they cost money, just like any Vanity Fair photo op does. This Operation Lone Star that Abbott has done, in general, has cost over $4 billion, and that may sound like a lot of money just because it is. But the thing to consider is that he's actually added on to that, costing the people in Texas another $9 billion in just 10 days because he decided to launch a truck inspection program at the border. But then once they found no contraband in it, they decided to close things. Almost like, again, if you're creating something that is so unfeasible, but then you're pushing for it on all ends, anyone who's smart will go, well, I'll just try on the 11th day then. Like, I'll just wait it out. And so, again, it makes no sense for them to be doing something with all of this gusto with no actual follow through, to the point that he's not even thinking things through. Like how he's diverting federal funds that were meant to go towards Texas prisons and instead using them on the border wall, which I don't know. That feels like a real Sophie's choice, right? Like Texas prison system or Texas border wall. Like maybe we should be funding either. But when
the difference those two things make in my everyday life, knowing that there's families being brutalized south of me, and like individuals being separated from families and brutalized all around me, I really feel safe,
knowing I'm not them. I am not the other.
Yeah.
And that makes me feel
exactly
good about myself.
Because as a resident of the great state of Texas, I feel so safe. I'm going to hoard ammunition and guns, and I'm going to be on next door 24/7, making sure that neighbor kid Corey doesn't touch my fucking yard. I will do things. I will make the Alamo look like a fucking daycare, which in Texas is already pretty bad. So it's bad.
Eddie Murphy stars in the latest comedy. What happens in 1836 with
it's just babies doing Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah,
is
is that it? Little baby David Crockett?
Yeah, exactly.
Little raccoon hat that they're waddling around in.
Yeah, I think the
Oh,
one
it's
of
a
the
James
more
Bowie knife, but it's plastic, so it's not really hurting anyone.
one of the more like because obviously like we have like our regular the regular kind of fucked up we've been talking about in this segment, but also there's that like weird culture war Riddler fucked up that shows up sometimes, which I feel like Greg Abbott, big fan of that. DeSantis, like it's the fucking those kind of
Oh
guys,
yeah,
right? That do this kind of shit. The busing of migrants to
Martha's
just
Vineyard.
target
Yeah,
cities, I
yeah.
guess. Like these blue fucking strongholds. We got to bomb them with a bus full of incredibly desperate people.
Literally
Like
trafficking humans illegally.
about as literally as you can traffic somebody. Putting them in traffic. Like, come on. Ugh, yeah, it's really heinous and does not seem to be a deal breaker for like anybody
I
in
mean,
the
it's
state.
honestly shocking that Greg doesn't want to run for president at this point. Like it really is just kind of like, what else do you have left to do on your insane bucket list of debauchery at this point?
Yeah, no, this is the guy who's replaying like the first level of a video game over and over just because he likes killing the enemies.
It doesn't seem like it's fun. It makes me feel good about myself. Yeah, that's what I want.
Ugh.
So next thing that we have is not accepting responsibility for his own housing crisis and economic issues. So obviously, the entire country is in a bit of a weird economic situation, and a lot of blame has then been put on Biden, especially from Abbott. He's put a lot of that on Biden, even the shit that isn't necessarily in Biden's control, especially since all the stuff that happens in Texas is happening under a fully Republican leadership. So
Yep.
it is weird when they're like, houses cost too much. People make too little. Like, yeah, Greg, what are we going to do about that? Huh? Again, it'd be wild maybe if a Democratic candidate was to say something like, I don't know, rent control and $20 an hour minimum wage, or
Yeah, we're gonna lower your rent. We're gonna raise your wages. We're gonna make your standard of living better. I mean, shit, we're gonna fucking keep
welfare.
the power
That's
on.
what it sounds like to me. Yeah.
That sounds like welfare to me. You know what? And maybe we need
To
welfare.
farewell.
That's the-
Huh?
Exactly, because our welfare ain't too good right now.
I'm Yosemite Sam, and I'm here to support welfare in 2026.
That'll finally convince us. We have to have cartoons narrate it to us.
I wasn't sure about this guy, but then that talking cowboy cartoon explained it.
Yeah, exactly. Big Tex needs to come to my house and tell me himself. Like, no, yeah, it really is. Yeah, such a fumbled fucking bag on the part of any sort of opposition. To just be like, hey, things are fucked up, and it's not because vague rates of inflation, sure, whatever. It's because this. These are the direct things that target you as a working class person. So hey, if you want to be engaged in politics, now's the fucking time. You know, like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to like the fucking thing. The new guy in Brazil did Lula.
Lula,
like
la, 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 la,
the beer and picanha and fucking fucking frying a little bit of fat slogan. Like, yeah, that's literally as somebody on Twitter pointed out. That's that fucking little bit of chicken fried song that we love so much here. The one. Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio up. That is all Texans want. If we don't fucking fix the power grid, and, get like costed like housing and shit under control, you won't have that little bit of chicken fried.
And where was all of this campaign advice? Huh? Where was this advice before Beto started running? We could have made millions off of this.
Banned from Facebook for the past 30 days.
Oh, you have? I'm so sorry. It's
that's what did it. That's otherwise Texas would be deep blue right now. Deep
instead of
half cramping blue.
let me take a live look at the election results right now here. 56% reporting in. Dun 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 dun. Oh, Greg Abbott has a 9-point lead on Beto right now.
Oh, well. Yeah,
It's better than 13 points, huh?
Better than 13 points so far. The last bullet point on this too just really drives home how just the material of it does not matter. Property taxes have gone up $20 million since Abbott took office, but Texans are not seeing stronger schools or a stronger energy
It's almost
grid.
like Texas
Instead,
decide.
$4
Sorry,
billion
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just saying the Texas desire to not have any state income tax and instead put everything into property taxes. But then getting mad that property taxes are so high, and then we lower that, and then we don't have any funding for any other programs.
Crazy how that shit works.
Wild to me. Sorry, please continue.
Oh no, that was it.
Yeah, it doesn't go just.
You'd think again, like the jet ski dealership owners of the world would be, more upset about this, but like no, if property taxes are up, it's obviously Brandon's
obviously, because then the money that's collected from that is going definitely into all those woke schools, right? Definitely not the $9 billion border programs that are existing. Not at all. Not. You know where that money's not going for sure, though, Bo? Do you want to know?
I have an
it's
idea.
The Texas Juvenile Detention Centers and our foster care system. Blah, 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 blah.
If you thought it couldn't get any worse, now there are orphans involved.
Yeah, we have teenagers spending 23 hours a day in cells having to use plastic bottles to go to the bathroom. Meanwhile, the kids that don't go to jail and instead go into the foster system are then exposed to sexual abuse or given the wrong medication or unlicensed placements, aka they're placed with strangers and then they lose track of them. So that's good, right?
Just give someone a kid. It's fine.
This is how we treat our kids. Right? Well,
hashtag save the children.
Oh,
come on.
Thank you, Matt Wallace, for appearing once again on the program.
We're going to, everybody forgot about Wayfair. I didn't forget about Wayfair.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of a Wayfair and welfare connection point. Trying to get that red piece of yarn to connect from one to the other here.
Yeah.
Do you think that Texas would care about kids if we just started to say, save our future child brides instead?
I mean, the real sick thing is, they know they've got more.
They can keep bumping them out.
They seem to believe they can let a lot of us die off pretty easily.
Yeah. All the rampant overpopulation that exists in Texas. Uh-huh.
Exactly. Notoriously dense and really every time I go outside, it's fucking Blade Runner out there.
It is fantastic to see.
Elbows with everybody everywhere.
There's 7 blue counties right now in Texas, and then just a sea of red, which is glorious. Because it's not to be look at how much more Republican Texas is, because blah blah blah. I know population stuff. Point is that's clearly where all of the people have gathered, and there's probably I don't know 19 goats and then one family in some counties.
Yeah, no, it's a redneck torture family. It's literally Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then a quick trip. That's the whole county.
This is Leatherface, and I'd like to talk to you about our juvenile detention center system. That's maybe if I had gotten the help I needed in taken away in the right kind of foster care system from my fucked up.
Well, finally, we're getting to where my area of expertise lies, because I've read Splatter Capital once or twice, so I can tell you all about how Leatherface is a victim of austerity politics, and in a better world he'd be carving up. He'd be working at the deli. I don't know.
I'm imagining Leatherface having a awful, just completely awful craft brewery where it's always just sawing and using the chainsaw, but to make benches and things, and then trying to sell that furniture on the side. That's his other hustle that he has going on. He
is somehow the douchiest man in Deep Ellum.
They're wow, and this is leather bonded seats on here. Wow. And the stitching is so unique. I love it. And he's just like nodding. Yeah.
He still didn't talk. He's like a regular guy. He just doesn't, he's not much for words.
It's like a Nick Offerman type is what I'm imagining.
Strong silent. Yeah, exactly. Also, unfortunately, a libertarian. Not like Nick Offerman. I don't know what Nick Offerman's
Nick Offerman is like blue lib dim through and through.
Just generic lib guy. All right. Well, at least he's not Katy Perry.
I suppose. I mean, R.I.P. to Katy Perry. You started off as a Christian gospel singer, and
look where it got you. Fame and fortune.
Just cracking up.
Congratulations, ma'am. You're canceled.
Finally.
Pile of money.
I want to cancel Katy Perry just because I don't want to listen to any more of her music. Is that...
Hey, you know what? Firework. I'll say it. Not a great song.
I was going to say inspired a lot of mid people to unnecessarily believe in themselves and then blame the system.
Jontron, for one. I mean, there's your fucking Gamergate connection. Everything ties back to that, as you and I know.
Oh, God. Okay, well, we have one bonus fact here. One bonus listing. Because
Yep. Abbott's anti-gamer discrimination. He took the tits out of Fortnite, and
it doesn't say anti-gamer discrimination, but it does say he's working
it's also
against disabled Texans. So it's basically the same, I think.
Yeah.
Of what's happening.
Yeah, it's really wild. He's a real like fucking Uncle Ruckus.
He's a pick-me.
Of like wheelchair users.
He's a pick-me is what he's trying to do. He's like, I am one of the cool disabled people, not like all of those other disabled people always asking for pain medication and
their woke legs refuse to work. That's why they're okay with the border not being secure.
I mean, Texas has become a state that ranks in the bottom list for pretty much everything. If you're a person with disabilities, so we're really leaning into the death cult mentality here because we don't protect minorities, we don't protect our young, we don't protect the disabled, we don't protect the old, we don't protect the poor. Yeah, I'm starting to get a feel for maybe who Abbott is for. I'm so glad.
Maybe the real Texas Chainsaw Massacre is society, Kelton.
Leatherface v. Ted Cruz. Let's go. Come on. Let's see what happens.
Both, body counts of their own. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it though. So remember, everyone, to go out and vote. Oh, hold on a second.
Yeah, this is coming out what? Fucking November. Let's shoot for what? Yeah, the 3rd, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because we're recording this. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh no.
Imagine being like, and here we are recording November 6th, where I'm predicting the swing of how elections are going.
No, this is all too real. This is not a dream. You can slap yourself just to really fucking drive it home.
God, Herschel Walker is taking the lead. JD Vance is taking a commanding lead. Fetterman is down to 51%. Yeah, this is it. This is it. This is the red wave.
Weak.
Congratulations, everyone.
God, it's so mid too. What a mid wave.
Don't worry, they're going to have horrible policies that they enact and affect us for the rest of our lives.
Like we've got just a million little Trumps now. It really rules.
They're like little lawn gnomes, but Trump lawn gnomes.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think if I were to invest in Trump lawn gnomes, like people would think like I'm a fan or that I'm making fun of him?
I feel like you could sell it both ways.
Well, you know, like how old people are with those like bizarre toddler figurines that they love so much.
Oh yeah,
that, but like Trump stuff, and then I could just sell it to Trump fans and Trump haters.
Like a little Kewpie mayonnaise.
Exactly.
Trump.
That's what I want. Like a hollandaise sauce Trump, basically.
Oh yeah, he's like tangy, but like got a little like oily.
He's a stinker. Look at him. Oh, trying to overthrow the government.
What a little guy.
Tiny little cherub-esque Trump with just a noose.
And they sell them at every Buc-ee's.
Oh yes. Oh God. Oh, can you imagine if I got the Buc-ee's contract for that? Oh, be flying off the shelves. Be better than an Amazon thing, honestly. But yeah, that's going to be an episode, I think, for us. So,
Yeah.
woo!
Another fun one on the books.
Yeah, this is great. This feels good. I'm so glad. Thank you, Bo, for showing up so that then we could record and get this all knocked out of the way. Abbott has now crossed over 3 million votes cast for him. So a solid leading command over Beto, where
well, as kind of we were saying earlier, the running question we forgot to attend to, would Beto have done any of these things better or fix them? I mean, like, I guess, but
he would
so
have
many of those
wanted
things are
better,
just like,
but I don't think he would have actually
what's
done
my day to
anything.
day?
Yeah.
Also that too, but yeah, fucking win or lose, like my rent's probably not getting lower, my wages probably aren't getting higher. So again, what the fuck, like can't trust these people,
No.
can't trust the fucking government. Not that that's like fucking revelatory or whatever, but Jesus Christ,
your libertarian friends are like, hell yeah, brother, come on, get back into the WoW clan. It's fine.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't wait to learn all the new fucking expansions.
There's ninja pandas now, right? Yeah.
Oh, wow. Isn't that fucking epic bacon? That's so cool. That's so fucking rad.
Yeah,
wow.
it's great. Well, in the meantime, as we're getting out of here, Bo, where can people find you? What have you got going on?
So I am at Schnedwob on Twitter. That is SCHNEDWOB. And yeah, I'm just posting lately. That's really it. Just doing my very good posts. Oh, and Schned_Wob on Instagram. That is the meme account. Occasionally posting OC, but honestly, that and like occasionally fucking DMing tabletop games is about all I got in me lately.
That's honestly not the worst thing in the world. I think having some tabletop stuff could be.
No, I need to make more content. I need it, Kelton.
For the show, let's go ahead and make sure that you guys leave voicemails over at 512-402-2089 or email us at psychicdolphingarage@gmail.com. Let's all mourn together this absolute and stunning defeat that no one could have possibly predicted, that Texas would stay Republican. Shock. Gasp.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon for weekly bonus episodes. And remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes and Spotify. Let's get out of here and start spending $9 billion on anything other than the border wall. Okay, Bo?
As long as Lone Star stays cheap, I will survive.
Hell yeah, a country boy will survive.
A country boy will survive. God damn it. I'm a boy from a country. Night, everybody.
Bye.